Welcome to the WordPress tutorial for creating and editing menus. So first we're going to start by not creating a menu at all. This is the default content that's entered into WordPress when you install it. We have the 2012 theme activated, and there's only one menu in the 2012 theme. We're just going to focus on this one menu. And what you'll notice is that we have home, and hello world is actually a blog post. So home right now is defaulting to set up as the blog, and there's also another page. This is actually a page, not a post, and this page is just sample pages, just to show you that there's a difference between the blog and pages. But we don't actually have a menu yet. This is what WordPress has created based on the content that we have. So just to show you that it's being kind of created on the fly, I'm going to add a new page called Contact and publish that page. And what you'll see, we don't really need content, we're just looking at the menus, is that Contact pops right up in this menu. Now we haven't touched the menu yet. There's no menu, but it's dropped in here because WordPress is looking through our pages and just adding whatever we put in there. And you can use this way if you like. You won't have any control of where things belong though. So normally what I would do is put contact on the end after everything else, but WordPress has decided to put it here in the middle. So it's pretty easy from this point to reorganize that information. We just go to menus, and if you look over here on this left bar, then you'll see that menus can be found from the back end under Appearance, Menus, and that'll bring us here to this page, where we'll see that WordPress has already created a menu for us to start with. You can see Contact is in the middle, and what we can do, if you see this cursor, these arrows mean that I can just drag this, I can move it around. So when I hit Create Menu, WordPress is taking this menu that I've just changed and actually creating it and applying it to the theme as the primary menu for the theme. So now that that's saved, I can actually go back to the site and see that now this menu is in the right order: Home, Sample Page, Contact. If I go back to Menus, then I can click this option on Auto Add Pages, automatically add new top level pages to this menu. So let's do that. I'm going to click that on and save. And what that does is as I add new pages, it's just going to slap those pages on the end of that menu, just like it was before we created a menu. So I'm going to create a menu item, or a page, excuse me, called About, and publish that. And since it's published, we can see it's probably already added to the menu. Let's just make sure. Going under Appearance and Menus, and you see About is slapped right on the end there. And we can see now, even if I hadn't gone to this page, I haven't made any changes or saved, but you can see that About is just added right on the end. Now if you're going to be changing your pages often or changing your menus often, you may not want to check that box. Or if multiple different people are changing your website, you may not want to check that box, because you probably want to put these items in a particular order. For example, so I'm going to save this. If I create a page, and let's say I create a page called Who We Are, and I publish that page, if we have who we are added right on the end, then that's not where we want it. We want to list that page underneath about. So what we're going to do is, now that we've created that page and presumably added content to it and it's ready to go, we want to add it from this area over here where it says pages. So this is only showing us the most recent. So if you don't see it here, it is here, who we are, right there. You can just check this off and click add. But you can also go to view all and see all of the different pages. Or you can go to search, and I didn't hit enter or anything, it just searched on the fly. And click this checkbox and click add to menu. And it will add it to the bottom here, but remember I haven't saved this menu yet, so I can still drag this, make it a submenu item, hit save, and then it says it's updated, so I'll go to the site and you can see that there's a submenu item for about, and it's called who we are, and that's exactly what we want. We don't want it to drop in over here and then have to change it after the fact. So beyond that, you have a couple other options for adding menu items. You can delete these pretty easily. You can just click into them and click remove. You can change the name of the navigational item, and then I don't have to do anything once I've changed that name. I can just close it, and then I do have to save it. I do have to do that before I go to another page, but you can see that the navigational label, whoops, I just slid that over a little bit so it made it a submenu item. The navigational label itself just says sample now, so if I hit save and then go to the site, you'll see that it just says sample, not sample page. You can also add links out to other sites. And you can, obviously I told it that I wanted the navigational label to be Brian's site. So save menu. Oh, except I don't want contact second to last, I want it very last, so save that again. And then go back to the site, and we'll see that it says Brian's site, and if I click on it, it goes right over to my website. So you can hit back, and then I can also remove items easily, as I mentioned before, just by clicking remove. And I can also add categories. Now we'll talk a little bit more about categories with the blog, but this would list out a bunch of different categories, and I could just add one of those categories and it would put that item in the menu, and then that menu item would pull up all of the blog posts with that category associated with them. And that could be a pretty neat little tool if you're running a bigger blog and you want to put links to sets of information. So we'll talk about that more with, I guess, settings. And I think that about covers it. You can also manage your menu locations. Let's save the menu. Manage locations. You can see here that this theme only supports one menu. You may find that other themes support more than one menu, and you can fiddle with those locations here. Right now, the primary location, the only location for a menu in the 2012 theme, is primary menu. and the only menu that we have is menu 1. You can also click edit and it will jump to edit that menu. Or if I click use new menu, it will create a new menu for me, and I can start from scratch that way. So if you're going to restructure your site, you could create a new menu first, put all that restructuring, build the whole menu, and then switch it in one motion, instead of changing the menu as you go and having that show up as you're working. Okay, I hope that helps, and check out my other tutorials for more information. Thanks.